let's roll right into it, Sean. We're each going to give off 5 bets that we love in the round of 64. We're going to alternate here. I'm going to start with my first one. I mentioned a trend when we did our bracket predictions video. I also did a video on it, and I'm leaning into it for 3 of my picks. The first one, Wisconsin minus 10.5 against High Point. High Point's been another one of those favorite picks for folks that they think, oh, this is going to be the upset because this High Point team's fun. They put up a lot of points, high scoring. It's a funny name, High Point. Who even knows where that is, what they've got going on.
I think it's in Carolina.
I pointed out I
think it's in North Carolina.
I would believe.
I knew a girl that went to High Point.
What is she doing now?
I don't know.
What are they known for?
I thought that she was like super smart in like high school and really well put together, and then she goes to High Point.
It feels like one of those schools, and of course, I'm sure all the people that went to High Point are coming out of the woodwork. If there are any people that went to High Point, well, besides that, I pointed out this one trend that I found on Monday. Teams that shoot 77% or higher are 97, 56, and 2 against the spread in tournament play. So there is strong evidence to suggest that teams that hit their free throws, and not just hit them, but in the like really upper tier of college basketball, oftentimes are going to at the very least cover. They're going to win. There is a talent gap between them and Wisconsin, not to mention the fact that at the current moment, Wisconsin is on a 10-3 against the spread run. So I've got a lot of momentum here. This is my favorite bet that I've got on the table.
Yeah, it works. It's also, I like it because it's double digits. Double digits scare me so much in basketball. But
it's not like a crazy big spread between
on the line.
Mid-major, a very weak mid-major team that's getting inflated.
It's literally as close to a double digit opposed to 9.5 that you could get. Like I'm way more comfortable with that than a lot of these people that I see picking like 24.5 and 21.
Yeah, I try to not touch any of those.
So greasy and so messy that I won't do it. But 10.5, that's pretty good. That's pretty reasonable, man. I'm gonna say that. My first pick here, I guess let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Louisville giving 4.5 points to USF. I like this Louisville squad, man. I really do. They can score in bunches. They're competent. They always look sharp in the ACC. I think, people love trashing the ACC, and trust me, there's plenty of reasons to. I think there's a lot of football carryover into the basketball season with a lot of hurt feelings. I thought Louisville performed really well this year. When I saw them play, they were faster than a lot of teams. Their guard play was severely better than a lot of teams, and I think that carries over. USF is all right. If they got the story, they got the emotional story. Sports Illustrated can take that and put them on a cover. I am trying to cover. Oh, look at that. Louisville 4.5. I like it. It's such a reasonable spread to win by 5 points. If you are Louisville, who does damage in March, who can go deep and then really make runs in March, you give me them win by 5 in the round of 64. Deal. Sign me up. It could have been USF. It could have been any other mid-major, any other team that just slapped their way, that made their way into this position. I'd still like Louisville 4.5. They've earned that from me.
The thing, too, with this, I like the juice on it that, again, a lot of people are picking USF, not because of the feel-good story, but because of the momentum that they've carried at the end of the season. So I feel as though that you're kind of catching the fact that you're on the opposite side of everybody else's projected bracket upset. So I'm totally good with going with Louisville there. My next pick, this is the second of the 3 picks that I have tied to the free throw trend. I didn't go with all of the teams that fit the free throw trend because, to what you just mentioned, it was Houston and I think Illinois that had matchups where the spread was just gigantic, and I didn't want to touch it, especially with shout out guest of the show last week and also guest this week, Paul Fritchner, Rebound Rundown. They posted a video of the balls bouncing at a ridiculous rate. They're overinflated. I think that it's going to be hard to cover a spread that big. I digress. The next pick, Ohio State minus 2.5 against TCU. This TCU team does not impress me. I feel like they're one of the couple of them and UCF are the 2 Big 12 teams that just shove their way in there purely off of branding. This is SEC team glazing for football that we're doing right now for college basketball.
Sure.
So I am taking this Ohio State team. I think that they are very underrated, plus that free throw metric.
Ohio State in early February was a team that was ready to crumble and fall apart. That looked like they could, there was a stretch of 3 games where it's like, all right, if we don't win these 3, then we're not doing anything. And they rebounded. They bounced back. I guess through rebounding and point scoring and all the good stuff in basketball. I'm trying very hard not to use basketball puns in this analysis. But they bounced back and they earned their way in. TCU does feel like the SEC feel-good team. That leads me into my SEC feel-good team, UCF, who I'm picking against with the Fighting Mick Cronins of UCLA. A man this passionate, this Napoleonic, this strong and loud and boisterous, and obviously passionate about basketball. You give him a 6-point spread against UCF. Not a basketball school, UCF. Thank you. Similar reasoning to Louisville. It's a legitimate program at UCLA. Mick Cronin has overcome himself and other obstacles to get this UCLA program actually firing on all cylinders. I thought they did. I thought they performed well in their conference tournament. They didn't blow the doors off, but they performed well enough for me to say you belong. And I think you could get a win. Maybe you could get 2 wins. It's going to be shaky. They are in a nightmare quadrant, but this first game I'm not worried about. 5.5 points, small spread, good team, mid team. I like the small spread. I like it. If all I'm seeing from the best teams is double digits, let me find my pocket. Where do I work in? You know, if I'm going into an event, Joe, am I walking up to the 10 out of 10 that has like an engagement ring on and thinking that I can smack her?
You're not walking up to any women regardless.
Do you think that I am
you stand there very panicked?
Do you think I'm confidently strutting up to that woman and saying,
you're not strutting up to anyone?
Let me change that.
I don't know why I just completely shook my head back and forth the way that I just did. That was a mistake.
Let me change that ring on your finger. No, I'm finding my pocket, which is not walking up to women, which is sitting down on the couch, which is finding a beer, which is finding something on a toothpick to gnaw on.
Sure.
And then maybe somebody walks up to me. That's my pocket. UCLA is the desperate girl that walks up to me as I'm sitting down.
Yeah.
Because all the other blue bloods are too busy getting 20-point spreads. I need this.
This also, if I recall correctly, this game is in Philadelphia. Wait, UCLA, UCF. I know that Cronin complains constantly. Yes, this is in Philadelphia. Cronin complains constantly about travel. This feels like one of those games where he's going to come strolling in and start whining and whining.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that it could be a little galvanizing for this first round.
We could be looking at a My Cousin Vinny situation where he's upset about the noise outside the hotel. He's upset about the travel, the time difference. Yep. Everything's going wrong, and he's just trying to get his little nephew out of a sticky wicket. Yeah,
exactly. I'm for this pick, which makes me, I mean, to be quite honest, this makes me uneasy because I'm in a little too much lockstep with you here at the moment because normally you and I are so against one another, and I'm like,
yeah, because I'm
up in your grill, giving you a lot of shit. Whenever you and I are on the same page, there's something wrong.
Scary, man.
Which I guess is kind of good because of the parlay that we're going to deliver in a second. My next pick, the last one for the 77% free throw trend. I'm going to take Vandy minus 11.5 against McNeese. I also like this one too. As if you're catching the trend here, we're bringing up a lot of picks that are against public leans. A lot of people are picking McNeese. A lot of people are thinking about High Point because everyone feels like McNeese has some sort of juice with the way that they've performed and the goofy manager that they have. Vanderbilt is not losing, and they're also not going to let McNeese cover against them.
Vanderbilt just beat Florida. Dude, what are these? Did these people see that?
Yes. Like what? This legitimately, this is my point. Every year there's one of those games where a commonly brought up upset that is pitched on a lot of like, oh, this is the sneaky, unexpected lower seed upset that you need in your bracket. And then lo and behold, the good team that finished the year strong drubs them and then just moves on. And then you're sitting there looking at your bracket going, why the F did I do this? I just tanked my whole bracket because I took out a team that's about to go on a run. Vanderbilt, If you watch the SEC championship game, Vanderbilt has some teeth, man. They do. It was a close, tight game against Arkansas. That was by no means an exposure. If anything, that gave me a lot more motivation to like Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I am all in on this Vandy pick. Again, lockstep. All right, hate this pick for me. Just hate this pick just because. My next pick, Hofstra getting 11.5 versus Alabama. Scandal special. Scandal special. Alabama's got.
Well, you got to explain the scandal special here on the show. This is a common pick whenever there's a scandal.
Scandal special is whenever a team is facing off-court or off-field issues, a player arrested, player charged, coach arrested, coach charged,
coach fired, sexually harassing
all
people.
All the scandal specials that you've come to know.
Get them out.
Get them out. Anything like that. You give me a scandal special, I pick against that team. This isn't like honored coach had to be let go and we had to take a direction with the franchise that was differently. Maybe that's a galvanizing point. Or scumbag coach out. No. This is legitimate scandal special. Player pulled over with 1+ pounds of weed. All of the headlines that you don't want to see before the tournament. Hofstra, I know it's like their first time in March Madness in like 25 years, maybe more.
Who cares?
I don't care. It's 12 points. Alabama is in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. They're either going to show up and shut out all the scandal special stuff and win by 30, or they mess around because it's scandal time and let Hofstra lose by less than 12 points. And I think it's going to be the latter.
Well, you also pointed out here Hofstra.
Hofstra also covers like hell.
Yeah.
21-11 against the spread on the year. Thank you. Okay. That's what I need.
I hate that this line is kind of close, though. I wish this was like a 20-point line. Why are the books giving so much respect to Hofstra?
No.
It bugs the hell out of me.
No.
We're going way out west. We're going to go Hawaii plus 15.5 against Arkansas. Calipari, this is the anti-Calipari juice. I'm not saying that Calipari and Arkansas can't go on a little bit of a run here. He is, as you might imagine, somebody who either dominates in the round of 64 or he completely bombs it. He's just been one of the worst coaches. Yeah, he's 11-3 against the spread in the first round. So the minute
13.
11-13. Yeah. Sorry, 11-13 against the spread. And we've got a 15.5 point line. They're going to win. They're going to win this game. But this has just complete fall asleep, not care about your opponent type of a matchup. Don't cover, win by 5. And everybody's going, oh my God, Calipari did it again. Yeah, I think that, especially coming off the SEC tournament win.
I did not know that Calipari stat in the first round.
It is pure Calipari letdown fuel that they won the SEC, that he's going to be coming in there thinking, oh, this is just Hawaii. And I think they're going all the way to Portland too, if I'm correct.
Oh my God.
Wait, let me double check where this game is.
Some may call
this game is in Portland. This game is in Portland, Oregon. They're traveling all the way to Portland on top of this. This is a disaster waiting to happen for Arkansas. Give me Hawaii plus 15.5.
God. Okay, I'll say this. There's nobody on Hawaii. They could have 6 people on the floor versus Arkansas's 5. There's nobody on the court that would be able to stop Darius Acuff Jr. from scoring.
He's such a good player.
That's what I'll say. But unless he goes for 60, I'm liking this line, Joe. God, I did not know that first round stat. That is damning, John.
I didn't know either. When I was doing my research, I was like, oh, this is good. This is juicy.
Oh,
makes sense too. All right, go ahead. What's your next one?
Mine is the Self-Jinx special, a team that I had written off and I'm rewriting back into my own book because
that'll work well for you.
I know. I hated betting on this team because they're the letdown fuel and they have to be letdown fuel. And that's Kentucky. Giving 3.5 points versus Santa Clara. Okay. All right. I understand what they did. I understand how much money I've lost on them. The SEC tournament chewed them up. They didn't want to cover ever. But when I say the words Kentucky, 3.5 point favorite versus Santa Clara, how do I not bite? How do I not bite win by 4 if you're Kentucky versus Santa Clara? It is a no-nonsense, no-fluff pick. I don't care the metrics on Santa Clara. I don't care how sloppy Kentucky's looked. They have a better team and a better roster than Santa Clara. There is no player on Santa Clara that I think would be starting on Kentucky. So that means you win by 4 points. You win by 4 points. Again, baby line, small line. Vegas understands that Kentucky can be kind of terrible. But when it's one of these bets where if I say it aloud, it has to happen because I refuse to say, oh yeah, Santa Clara will cover against Kentucky. That's just not something that's going to process for my brain. It's the Shaq approach. Only invest in things that you understand. So that's what I'm investing in here. And that's Kentucky winning against a team that is, I guess, doing okay.
I hope that works out for you. By the way, shout out to the Otter Creek who I can't read the first half of what he said about Hofstra, but heck of a poll referencing Wayne Corbett having gone to Hofstra. That's a really good name game poll when you're sitting at the bar and you're playing the name game. For those that don't know, the name game where you name a NFL player or league player, whatever it is, and first letter of the first name has to start with the first letter of the last name, and you keep going back and forth. Wayne Corbett's a good one. That's a good W to have in the back.
That's good. Hofstra, I think Marcus Colston. Hofstra.
I want to say Marquise Colston was also Hofstra as well.
I think he was Hofstra.
Who was the... We're not doing this. We're not doing this.
That's fine.
This was how off the rails it was. I was trying to think of the Monmouth football player, Miles Austin. Monmouth football player. It has nothing to do with anything except for tri-state area football programs. My last pick, speaking of the tri-state area, I go with St. John's, an Italian. You got to bet on St. John's if you're an Italian in New York and New Jersey. You got to do it. -10.5. They're also on a cover streak, 10-4 against the spread on their current run. I'm taking the Johnnies, baby. I'm taking the Johnnies.
I just can't participate in any more St. John's discourse. I can't look at any more St.
You live here.
I know.
Have some pride.
I
have some. I'm glad that you're like you've slightly started to kind of catch up and understand how this works. You've given me shit for reclaiming my Knicks fandom.
Mm-hmm.
It's how this works. When you're here, it's not fair weather fandom, but you suddenly make it everything about your personality whenever one of the teams are doing well. It's just how it works here.
I'm just angry at a certain group of Rhode Island former broadcasters that decide that they're the biggest Big East fans of all time. Our
former classmates at the University of Rhode Island root for St. John's because one of our other former classmates works for the athletic.
Then why is Will Pipicelli rooting for UConn? Why am I looking at this mess?
It's probably from Connecticut,
I guess.
Also, Dan Hurley was at Rhodey.
I know. Yeah, it makes sense. We like to drink. We like to watch basketball. Where's our invite ever? That's where I'm upset about it.
3 states away where we're not nearby.
Talk to Kevin.
We need one of these bets to hit so that we can go and hire ourselves we need to get JJ Redick coaching at URI. How do we get that?
Awesome. Let's give Archie another 10 years.
Absolutely not 10 years in jail. Lock him up. All right, what's your last pick?
My last pick. That is Penn getting 24.5 points versus Illinois. Yes, the Ivy League rep, the humble Ivy Leaguer, Penn, led by Fran McCaffrey. You've heard of him, haven't you? 24.5 points versus Illinois. Illinois got size. Illinois has fast guards. They got guys that can jam. But Penn is an Ivy League team playing in the round of 64. In the last 3 years, the Ivy League rep has won twice in the round of 64, and the one time they've lost in the last 3 years, they only lost by 9 points. For some reason, when these reps from Ivy get into this round, they get worked in the round of 32.
Mm.
In this first round, it is their Super Bowl. It is their March Madness championship. I go out and I show out and I hit threes and we play fundamental basketball. Because you know what? There's some tall basketball players that won an education too. And that's where they go. They go to Penn and they play hard. I guess they got this TJ Power kid who's played at a bunch of different schools. He played at UVA. I guess he can drop some buckets. 24.5 points is also just an absurd line. It's a laugh in your face line if you hear it. It is just too large. It is ridiculous. Even if this wasn't Penn, if this was Princeton or Yale or whoever else they decide to send that would win that horrific conference, I would still take this line because 25 points deciding victory. No, thank you. I will not do that. Thank you.
Well, and here's the thing too with them. I had referenced to you numerous times over the course of the weekend, and I really wish I had the opportunity to have, for us to have delivered picks during the conference tournaments, because like this was one that I constantly kept referencing. Damn it. I just had it pulled up. I was trying to pull up Penn's recent stretch of games that they had covered. I have it now in front of me. It's loading. It is loading. They were a covering wagon for me over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I was very up and down. I just ended up like a couple picks over 500. It wasn't like a great weekend for me, but this Penn team is on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cover streak.
Love it.
They're 8-2 in their last 10 cover.
Love it.
So there is a lot of justification for this. The line is gigantic. It is a huge line.
It's a mammoth line,
You
dude.
telling me we just need 24.5 points?
No.
I hate that we're all in agreement here. So